Hello and welcome to Crochet Moments. This is episode, let me check, I've actually got notes this time. This is episode 26 and we are nearly at, Emily, don't make any
Your
noise like that.
Podiversary.
That's right, we're nearly at my Podiversary.
And nearly at 100 subscribers.
And we're nearly at 100 subscribers. So that could only mean one thing. What does it mean?
I don't know.
A giveaway. So, so this episode, that is going to be a giveaway. So stay tuned. I will be announcing what you need to do for that later on in the episode. There will be a code word. So all of that information will be given later. So the girls just wanted to say hello.
Hello!
So it's been their school holidays. So what
It still is.
it is their still their school holidays. So Emily, do you want to stop being like a complete lunatic and tell everybody what did you do with Daddy this week?
I went to the museum. I went to the Space Centre when both of those days when Catherine was at Granny's.
Yes, so in the last 2 weeks, Emily has been for a couple of morning or afternoon trips with Daddy. While Catherine's been at Grandma's, she's been to the National Space Centre, which is a space museum that is based in Leicester City Centre. And she's also been to the Newark Museum, which is also in the city centre, although more central than the Space Museum. She's going a little bit crazy because it is close to bedtime, so Daddy will be down shortly to take her away. And Catherine, what have you been up to? Emily, you need to be quiet so while Catherine talks.
Well, today I've been to the Van Gogh immersive. I can't remember the rest of the name.
There was, and I'm not 100% sure what the concept was, but it's an immersive exhibition of Van Gogh and his work. And Emily's definitely going a little bit mad. So, girls, so you both said hello. There won't be a knitting moments today because Catherine's been a little bit slack on the knitting front, haven't you?
And good news, I don't need to go missing anymore.
Yes, so
Artemis completely healed.
she's been signed off from the fracture clinic, although she can't go to the sports camp next week with school because there's a chance that if she got knocked over or jostled, she might undo all the healing that she's been doing. Now, Emily, I need you and your sister now to go sit over there while I finish talking.
Bye-bye.
Oh dear, if you don't already have children, take mine as an example, don't. Alright, okay, now, right. As I said, this is episode 26 and this is Crochet Moments. I'm Helen and this is my place where I like to talk about all things yarn. I love knitting, I love crochet, and I do a bit of cross stitch as well, though I haven't shown any for a while. I do have a couple of full coverage projects on the go which I haven't worked on for a long time. So yes, I'd also like to say a big hello to all the new subscribers. I've had quite a few drop on over the last couple of weeks, so I'm so close to the 100, so close to the 100. This episode will take me over the 100. Hopefully, if the subscription rates as they have been continue, that will be great. So I'm sorry, I've just as I said, she's very excited. I'd also like to say a special hello and thank you to all my existing subscribers. Some of you have been with me for the past 12 months. Some of you have only recently discovered me but have watched almost everything in my previous videos, so that's it's really good to see when I've attracted somebody new that really loves to interact with the channel, because my whole purpose for starting this channel is to make new yarny friends. I have friends outside of yarn, but none of my friends are really yarny. They don't really do knitting, there's no crochet, so it's nice to have that interaction. So social media, you can find me on Instagram. I am at Crochet Moments. I think there's a dot between the crochet and the moments. All of my contact information is down below. So by all means, if you wanted to drop me an email, if you don't do social media, I do try and respond as quickly as possible, though I do work full time, and as you can see, I've got my hands full with those two when I'm not at work. Yes, so I really enjoy making new friends. So if you do want to reach out, please do. As said before, there's no Catherine's Knitty Moments. I did buy her a new pattern. We went to the works at a garden centre, and I got her this pattern. She fell in love with the style, but she's only got about 4 rows done of the white top, so there's not really much to show. So that's Catherine's knitting. I've had a little bad news, bit of bad news this week. Anyway, yes, some bad news this week. What was it last week? Time has run away with me. Anyway, there's no Schjeepes CAL this year. What? No Schjeepes CAL. I was devastated for about an hour. And then, scrolling through Facebook, I came across a post saying that the Starcraft Crochet Along, which is designed by Helen Shrimpton of Crystals and Crochet, a blanket designer I really enjoy the designs of, is still having a 2021 CAL. So it's not all completely bad news. I am going to be doing that. The information post has been posted today. I believe it was due to go up today. I haven't looked at it yet because I haven't had time. I will be looking at it. There are 3 different yarn packs. Let me see if I can find, there might be a picture of it now. So the design is called Faith. There are 3 different yarn packs to go with that. The first is the basic pack, which is the Starcraft Special. Let's have a look. And there is also a Starcraft Bellissima. I hear scribbling. You better not be scribbling on anything you shouldn't be. It's large enough for you to see. See, there we go, so there it is. So that's the one I'm doing. I have yet to decide which yarn pack I'm going to go with. It will either be the Bellissima or the Naturals. So they've got a bamboo cotton yarn, which does look rather nice, so I'm tempted to go with that one. I shall have a look. I was prepared to go the whole hog for the luxury pack for the Schjeepes, so I have been saving up, and so the money is there. I shall see which one I like the colours best of. I do, from the pictures I saw in the sneak peek last week, I am tempted towards the Naturals yarn. Emily, can you stop rattling pieces of paper, please? I do apologise if you can hear Emily rustling paper in the background while she's drawing. So yes, so that's my future plans. That is due to start, I believe, in a few weeks in September. I'm not quite sure the date of September. I've literally just found the post that's released today, so I shall have a proper look at that later when I finish filming. As mentioned earlier, it is about a week. By the time this goes live, it will be exactly a week until my Podiversary. I will be having a giveaway, and I will show that off later, and I will give you your special secret code word to use later, so stay tuned for that when I'm going through my incoming. Right, so without further ado into my finished objects. I do apologise if I end up going all over the place. I did have a glass of wine after work, so...
Well, you said it was 2.
Yeah, 2. A large one and a small one. Do I get a kiss goodnight? Mwah! Night. That's Emily out of the way. Okay, so finished objects. I do have a finished object. Those of you who are regular viewers of my channel will know that I have been working to improve my amigurumi skills. And by doing so, I have decided that part of that working to improve my skills would be the Zumigurumi books. Zumigurumi, as Catherine would say. I have just finished the set of little mice. So let's get that. Try and do this so I'm not showing any of the pattern. So we've got the naughty little mice. And the naughty little mice have a chocolate cake. So I've done...
It looks delicious.
I've done one big mouse, one little mouse, and the cake. I did share that on my Instagram last night? Not last night, the night before, when I finished them. Because amigurumi has come up a couple of times in the last 2 weeks on my decision wheel, so I've been able to get some decent work done. So, first of all, the details. So this is the amigurumi mice and cake. It is designed by Tilda and Filer. As far as I could tell, I couldn't find it as a downloadable pattern other than as part of the book. I did have a look. If you can find it, then that's fine. Almost all of my amigurumi will be made using scraps that I have left over from larger projects. I do tend to have lots of part balls left over from blankets and things like that. So I have some, this is mostly leftover Aldi yarn, though the cake is made from some leftover Schjeepes yarn from, oh no, not that one, from this Schjeepes CAL here, which was the 2020 CAL. So here is Mummy Mouse, which I think I've already shown in my previous episode. It was supposed to be sewn together so the limbs would be articulated, but I didn't feel brave enough for that.
It's okay, you can do what you want to do.
There's little baby mouse. There he is. Oh, he's got some stuffing stuck to him. He's not coming out, it's just he's been sat on top of some fresh stuffing in my bag. So there he is. I sewed the eyes on with black yarn rather than use safety eyes for the smaller project, because in the books, this particular, a lot of them are in worsted weight yarn, and I'm using DK, which is lighter than worsted weight. And when I've done a small project before, the eyes haven't sat well in the smaller projects. So the eyes aren't quite even, I've just noticed, but one's ever so slightly bigger than the other. And this one is probably, out of the 3 items from the set that I finished, the most impressive, because this is the one that looks most like the picture in the book. Here it is. How cool is that?
And it looks delicious.
I really enjoyed making this. I did go a little bit wrong on the leaves, so instead of making them again, I was supposed to just do 2 leaves, one to sit either side of the blueberries, But on the first one, I read the instruction wrong and did 3 leaves. So I thought, well, I'll just make the opposite ones 3-leaved blueberries, and these little raspberries are really cute. I am so proud of that cake. That has to be one of my better amigurumi projects that I've ever finished. So I'm really hopeful that this means that I might have cracked amigurumi. Who knows? I'm only on the first book though. I do plan on going all the way through all 10 books eventually, assuming I can find all 10 books. So if ever you spot them cheap anywhere, please let me know. Because they're about £10 a book. And I am getting my money's work. I am working quite a lot. Get quite a lot of hours of work out of them. Because depending on the project, it can take a good... Well, the cake itself, I think, took about 4 or 5 hours worth of work in total. But yes, I'm very impressed with this cake. It's so cute. Okay, so while we're on the theme of amigurumi, we're on to my whips now, my works in progress.
Whips.
Okay. Okay, so the next project along, so as I've said, I'm working all the way through. So I'm about 1/3 of the way through this book now, which is quite exciting. So I am on Roary the Tiger, designed by A Morning Cup of Joe Creations. And he looks so cute. Really, really cute. So I just made a little start on this. So last night I had a touch of insomnia. Woke up in the middle of the night, couldn't get straight back to sleep. So I came downstairs for a cup of Ovaltine and crochet. So I sat and watched some YouTube and I started the head of Roary. So here's the head. Just started the decrease rows. And we've got this stitch marker here to show that's going to help me find where the eyes are going to be positioned when I've read forward in the instructions. Yay me. I usually just jump straight in and go for it, but I have read forward in the instructions and that stitch marker will help me place the eyes. Now, face placement is one of my biggest struggles when it comes to amigurumi, so I shall see how that goes. Yarn for this one, as you can see, it's not quite orange. It's a very deep yellow. This is the King Cole Big Value DK, and the shade is number 55 Gold. This is just a budget DK that is sold in my local yarn shop, the one that I do my knitting lessons at, and I get discount. I get stuff discount. So although it wouldn't be overly expensive, my local yarn shop sells the budget acrylics for about £2 a ball. So all good. I shall, well, depending on how quickly I can sober myself up enough to trust myself to count properly, I shall be continuing on that and hopefully getting the head finished and stuffed by bedtime tonight. So the hook I am using is a 3mm hook. I always like to go down at least 2 hook sizes from the recommended hook size for the yarn when I'm doing amigurumi. This is just actually a cheapie that I got in a set from the range when I first started crocheting. I really like these hooks. I think it only cost me about £4 or £5 for a pack of 6 hooks in different sizes. I think the smallest one was 3mm. There was a 3.5, a 4, a 4.5, a 5, and there might have been a 5.5 or a 6. I can't remember. but I do still use these hooks. My 4mm has been used so heavily that it's actually starting to get loose in the handle. So I'm having to be careful when I use that one. But yeah, these are really good hooks if you're just starting out, or even if you wanted to try the hooks with these kinds of handles. They're really, really good value. For about £4 or £5, the amount of use that I've had out of this set since, in the 4 years since I first finally got the hang of crochet, they are really good. I do recommend them. So, remember this bag? This is the bag I got from Soffity, my crochet and knitting friend in Australia. She is a long-time subscriber of my channel, and earlier in the year she asked for my address because she wanted to send me a birthday present, and she surprised me with this lovely bag which she made by herself. I love this bag. The last project was my seashells shawl that was finished, and I did it.
Seashells on seashore.
Yes, the one that I can never say the title of, even when I haven't had a glass of wine, so I'm not even going to try tonight. But yes, I did say that I never wanted this bag to not have a project in it, so I moved one of my projects that I was already working on into this bag. And in this bag is my Starbright sweater, which is getting quite close to being finished. So let's get the pattern out so I can show you what it should look like first, before you see my attempts at it. So here it is. This is designed by Fran Morgan. It is featured in issue 103 of Simply Crochet magazine, and it's also available as a paid pattern on Ravelry. So if you did want it and you couldn't or didn't want to find the copy of the magazine, it is a downloadable PDF on Ravelry. I can't remember how much it was, but it didn't look too expensive. Around £3 or £4. So this is a very simple pattern. It does look more complicated than it actually is. My problem is I didn't swatch, but that doesn't matter because I'm making it for Catherine. So it doesn't matter that it's probably coming out a little bit smaller than it should. I'm making the smallest pattern on the pattern. Where's no, that's everything. So I'm making it as small as I still haven't got around to sewing ends in. That's going to have to be something I do at the end. So here it is. So I've got one sleeve finished, and I am almost 20 rows into the second sleeve, and I've counted the rows. So I'm going to move a marker every 10 rows so I know when to stop on this sleeve so that the sleeves match. And then there's this really cute cuff done in the mustard. So the yarns in the pattern should have been Rico Design Luxury Super 100 DK and Rico Design Creative Lame 4-ply. But I very rarely stick to yarn choices in magazines. A lot of the time I'm knitting or crocheting on a budget. I do have a bit of a soft spot for hand-dyed yarn, but I don't have a large stash of that, and I certainly wouldn't buy, at the moment, trust myself to buy a sweater's worth of that yarn. So this is actually done in acrylic yarn, and it's a DK, so I'm using the Aldi So Crafty DK yarn in this one's it's just called grey, and it's really soft. I think it's about £4 or £5 for a pack of 100 gram balls of this yarn, and I do love it. they are due a yarn update sometime in September, and I don't know whether or not to buy some more. I shall see what colours they get and maybe just stick to some of the colours that call out to me, rather than just, on the last one they did, I just bought 1 pack of each colour that was available. But certainly I will be buying more of the Aran yarn. I've had more opportunity to use the Aran yarn than the DK this year, and the Aran yarn is so nice. Anyway, on the sweater, as you can see, so I have altered the pattern a little bit, just to, I got a little bit fed up with doing a row of single crochets and a row of half double crochets. So I just turned them into half double crochets to make it grow a little longer. And I did, because it's worked in the round, I did get Catherine to try it on as I was going, so that I knew when to stop and do the ribbing at the bottom, so it wasn't going to be too big or too small for her. And I happen to know that she is looking forward to the autumn for starting to wear this. I am almost at the end of one ball of wool, and we'll be starting this one shortly. It hasn't come up on my whip wheel for a little while, so we shall have to see what happens with that. I should put the magazine away in a moment. So the next whip I want to talk to you about is in just my Aldi flowery tote. I got this for about 80p. It's one of those fold away shopping bags. But I spoke about this book at length in my last episode. This is You Can Knit That by Amy Herzog. And I really want to improve my sweater knitting skills. I'm quite impressed with how she goes about it in this book. So I have made the decision, because there aren't many patterns in here that I don't like, I have made the decision to just work my way through this book. There are so many projects that I like in here, but the very first project that I am working on is the Buttercup mini vest. It's just a very basic vest. So the back is plain stocking stitch, and the front is alternating rows of stocking stitch and seed stitch. So since you last saw me, I finished the back, though I do think I made a little bit of mistake on this shoulder. It's supposed to look like that, but in opposite, but I've done it. Never mind. I can bodge that, but it's just plain stocking stitch. There's nothing special there. I've got the nice rows of rib at the bottom, and then I've started the front. So yes, I've basically got the first seed stitch or moss stitch, depending on what you want to call this stitch. Got that done, and I've just started the next repeat of seed stitch in there, which is, I think there's 4 rows, so it goes 8 rows, 4 rows, 8 rows, 2 rows, and that will help me work out how far I've got to go, because I have measured how many rows as well as the size, the length of the piece, because in this book at the beginning, and she had a great introduction part as to how you approach that before you start knitting the garment, while you're knitting the garment, and after you're knitting the garment. And one of the things about during the knitting was to try, as well as trying to make sure that the sizes matched, to try and do the same number of rows. So I counted the rows that I did on the back to make sure that I have the same number of rows on the front, and that will apparently help with making, with the seaming, matching for the seam. So that hasn't come up for the best part of a week, although it did come up almost non-stop for a few days. I did start to wonder if I was going to work on anything else. So there's that one. Oh, knitting needles. Yarn is the Aldi Aran. This is in peach. Oh, it comes in a 400-gram ball and is £5 for that 400-gram ball. It is a 80% acrylic, 20% wool mix, and as a consequence it's very soft. It's very, very soft. I do like this. So this is being knit for Emily in Emily's size on my mum's old needles. I don't even think it's a matching pair, is it? Oh, it is. It looks... Oh no, it's not. It's not a matching pair. Just two 4mm needles that are about the same length. Because at the time I started this, my 4mm circular needles, my interchangeables were in use, so I didn't get to use those. So my next project is in another, oh, I went all fuzzy then, is in another Aldi bag. So this is one of the, I think it's kind of like a yarn bucket, so you can unzip it and then roll it down, which is how I tend to knit from it. This is the Get Connected cushion, and it's designed by Martin up north. So here's the front. I finished the front a little while ago. And this is done in mosaic crochet. Now the back, I didn't really fancy doing mosaic crochet, so I am doing a spike stitch stripe. I am almost at the decrease stage. So once I get to the end of this repeat, I will be decreasing for the other half of the cushion. And then I will be placing the border on it and working out a way of putting it together that will allow me to take it out to give it a wash whenever the kids get it dirty. Because let's face it, kids get stuff dirty.
It's true.
So to make this cushion, oh, this is a free pattern, though you can get it as a payable download. You can pay to download an ad-free version with a few more steps in the sort of how-to things. There is a free YouTube tutorial as well done by Esther of It's All in a Nutshell. She does a lot of the Schjeepes tutorial videos for the make-alongs and things, so check it out. If you haven't tried mosaic crochet before, it is a good one to try it on. It's fairly simple. It looks more complicated than it is. It's just single crochets and double crochets, or double crochets and treble crochets, depending on what terminology you follow. I am, for the main part, using the river washed Schjeepes. So this one is the Nile colour and this is Danube. And I really like this. This is a, what weight is it? I think it's a sport weight. Yes, it's a sport weight yarn. There's 130 metres in a 50-gram ball, so they're 50-gram balls. It's a 78% cotton, 22% acrylic mix, and it's really nice. It's got this lovely sort of, I don't know if you can see it, there's a lovely halo to it, which you don't normally see on cotton yarns. That's probably the acrylic influence. And the border, if I can find it, will be, oh, got a hook hanging off it, in the stone washed in Moonstone. So this, stonewashed is in the same, it's the same weight, it's the same makeup, cotton acrylic blend. I really like it. Hooks that I am using. I'm using my Crochet Society hooks. I do love these hooks. These are the one regret I have for cancelling the boxes. I really love the hooks. If they just did a hook subscription, I would be there for that. These hooks are lovely. The older hooks that have the sort of the rose gold finish, so this is one of the older ones with the rose gold finish, they weren't as well made, as you can see. So these come all the way out. I need to put a spot of glue in there to stop that happening. But the newer ones, so the newer ones with the silver finish, the handle is higher up the neck of the hook, which for me, this works better. I do like a hook with the handle quite high up because of the way I crochet. And I just love the colours. I love the different designs that they have on them. I love how this looks like autumn leaves. I'm just going to have to keep my eye out, aren't I, for fancy hooks. Let's add fancy hooks to my obsessions of purchasing things. So that's that whip. Pop this all away. And I've just got 2 more whips left to show you, and then I'm on to my incoming, which is very exciting. First of my last 2 whips is the Enigma CAL. So those regular viewers will know that I am working on the Crochet Now crochet along. It is designed by Esther of It's All in a Nutshell, and I am a huge fan of her. You might have guessed. There's quite a lot of things that I do like watching. She's done tutorial videos for is it the Sophie's Universe or Charlotte's Universe? I forget now, but I really want to have a go at that one. But I'm resisting at the moment because I have so many other projects, and I really want to get some stuff done and finished rather than keep having this huge whirlwind of whips. That I'm being good. I'm restricting myself from doing anything. But here is it's part 4. Up to part 4 is finished. So here it is. It's starting to get bigger now. The rounds are starting to take longer. Did not enjoy this round. Popcorns. Me no likey popcorns. I like eating popcorn. I do not like crocheting popcorns. I find them very tedious, if I'm honest. But I like how they look. So I kind of I can't avoid them really. But here they are. And I'm all up to date with sewing my ends in. So a lot of you who watch this regularly will know I do not like sewing in my ends. I tend to leave them and leave them and leave them, and then complain when I have to sit for 2 hours sewing ends in on a blanket. So here it is in all its beauty. Now I am not using the called for yarn. The called for yarn pack is a colour crafter kit, or what's the other yarn that it has on it? Let's find it. So here's what it will look like when it's done. Yeah, so it's got a stone washed kit and a colour crafter kit to go with it. I am doing it in a combination of Aldi yarn. So this green is an Aldi yarn. This is a Deramores yarn. This is a Patterns yarn, I think. This pink is a really pale pink that's here. That is a pink that I've had in my stash for I don't know how long. So I really like how that's coming along. And part 5 will be with us in about a week and a half, I think. Oh, now I finished part 4, this issue of Crochet Now is up for grabs. This won't be part of my giveaway, but if you do want it, please do. If you want to see what patterns are in it, look at my last video. But please email me. First come, first serve. Nobody's claimed it yet. So if you do want it, drop me an email or DM me on Instagram if you want it. I'm happy to post worldwide. So just let me know. My last work in progress that I've been working on. I do have a blanket along running at the moment that runs till the end of this month. It's August at the moment. And I've been a little bit slack on mine. I haven't really worked on it. So, my bad. But I will try and prioritise it a little bit this month, just because it's my make along, so I should finish my project, shouldn't I, really? So this is the part 3 of the 4 Seasons knit along with the Knit Now magazine. This pattern is in issue 131, and this knit along is based on the 4 seasons. Each season has 2 patterns. With the yarn pack, you can only make one of the items, so you can either make the scarf or shawl or the socks. I'm going to try and make almost all of the patterns. I say almost all of the patterns because part 2, half the pattern was missing out of the magazine and I just kept going wrong. So I gave up on that one. But the socks in part 1 will definitely be made. Now I have the yarn pack, which I will show in a moment with my incoming, which will be very soon. So these are the Coralean socks. They're designed by Hazel. I did have a look, and at the moment they're not available as a downloadable pattern anywhere that I could find. And yeah, there's a couple of new elements to these socks that I've not come across before. I haven't done twisted rib before, and I haven't done a short row heel, but now I have. I've had all sorts of adventures with these as well, with different needles. Oh crikey, I've dropped them. But I'll get into the needle fiasco in a moment when I get to it. So here is the first sock for now. So this will need blocking because the lace is all scrunched up. It's not really a lace. But so here's the twisted rib, and then this really nice pattern, although I'm not enjoying all of that purling. Purl is quite possibly my least favourite stitch. And then my short row heel, which I did show on Instagram last night. It's not perfect. It's probably wrong in so many ways, but I've never done a heel like that, so I am really pleased with myself, if I do say so myself. I am so pleased with how that's coming out. So I've started the foot. So as usual for all of the foots, the bottom is just going to be straight stockinette, and then the top of the foot will be the pattern. And I've decided to make these for Catherine so that the foot won't be so long, just because I'm finding this so tedious. I was supposed to do 3 repeats of the pattern. The pattern is a 20 row pattern. I decided to stop at 2 repeats. I've just done 40 rows. So it's got a 15 row cuff, 40 rows of leg, then the heel, and then I'm just going to go until I've run out of, until I get to the end of Catherine's foot, basically. So this is not being knit in any of the yarn that came with the subscription gift, because I started them before that arrived. I am using this really lovely yarn, which I've been dying to use, from Dinah's Home of Crafts. So this is a colour called Nameless, and I absolutely love this colour. It's, to me, it looks like everything. It's almost like she had some leftover dyes, swooshed them in a vat and chucked some yarn in. and came out with this really pretty colour. I just love it. It's probably a little bit dark, but I don't mind. They're socks, you don't need them to be too brightly coloured if you don't want them to be. And I really like them, so that's that. So those are all my whips. So incoming, so I'm nice smooth transition. I've just been talking about the knit now knit along, and I finally 2 months late received my subscription pack for the knit along. So it's all Rico design yarns. This is the first one. So this is the Superba Cashmere Luxury Socks. This is the first and second month's yarn. So this is going to become an incredibly soft pair of socks. And I can't wait. It's so soft. I just keep taking it out of the bag and rubbing it on my face like this. But yeah, so there's 400 meters in a 100 gram ball. It is 65% virgin wool, 25% polyamide and 10% cashmere. So once I've finished the Coralean socks, I will be knitting the month 1 socks in these. In that. So the month 2 yarn, month 2, the next set of socks and scarf pattern is using this yarn. This is the Superba Premium Moulinet. It's a 4-ply superwash. I really like that colour. It's 380 meters for a 100 gram ball, 75% virgin wool, 25% polyamide. You can tell there's nothing soft like cashmere in here. It is quite rough. I'm a little concerned that I've decided to do the scarf out of the knit along patterns in this yarn, but we shall see how it goes. Maybe once it's been knitted up and blocked and washed a little bit, but it will soften up a little bit. It's a little bit scratchy, but I love that colour. I just love that colour. It's so nice. And I'm not normally a pink person, but it's not quite pink, is it? It's like a coral colour. Does it have a colour name? No, there's no colour name to it, which is a shame. That needs a colour name. So I'm not sure the order that the next 2 yarns come, because I haven't, unlike most other knit and crochet alongs, it's almost like a mystery, because you're told what yarn you'll need, but not what the patterns will look like. So you get a sneak peek of the next pattern in each month. So I've seen, oops. Let's see. Ooh. I'm all fingers and thumbs. So there's the sneak peek for the next pattern. So that is what will be knit with this one. But I'm assuming that next week, the next one's due in next week, I will get a sneak peek of the following one. So then I've got a 100 gram ball of alpaca luxury socks, Superba. This is really nice too, so 310 meters. We've got 62% virgin wool, 23% polyamide and 15% alpaca. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of alpaca. I do find that I react to it a little bit. So this might become the socks, and I might dig into my yarn stash for something softer to go around my neck. Just because I don't know what it is about alpaca. It just doesn't like me. But I really like the colour. It's like a beigey colour. Again, no colour name, but it's really, really nice. Let's see that halo there. I'm not sure how that would work for socks, but I should give it a go. And then I'm going to assume that these two go together. So I'm wondering if there might be contrast heel, toes, cuffs to some socks going on, which I haven't actually done yet. I haven't done any socks that have got contrast colours on them. So this is Superba Premium Superwash 4-ply. It's a 50 gram ball, 190 meters. It's a 75-25, and again, no colour name, but I do like those blues. I am usually drawn to blues, so these might find their way to become whatever the scarf option will be, because I do like blues and I love these blues. So that's that incoming. Like I said, I'm really looking forward to finally making some headway on that. So my other incoming is my subscription, my mini skein subscription from Dinah's Home of Crafts. Let's cover my address. So there's her logo there, Dinah's Home of Crafts. And I don't appear to still have the letter telling me what the inspiration was. So I can't remember what the inspiration was. I think it was something to do with trips to the seaside, because the stitch marker is a really cute ice cream. So I really like that. I might even gift that to a friend who is learning to knit at the moment. She runs the, she doesn't own it, but she runs the knitting shop that the wool shop that I do knitting lessons at. And I've been kind of guiding her in her just starting to knit, and she's jumping in with a pair of socks. So that might make a really nice beginning of round marker. And are you ready for some gorgeousness? Here are the colours I got. How beautiful are they? And they just fade into each other so beautifully. I love these greens. They're so beautiful and soft and woolly. I love a woolly hand-dyed yarn. As always, it's a 20 gram mini. Each gram is 20 grams at 85 meters. It's a 75-25. The colorways don't have names, but yeah. So the next bit of incoming, which is really, really fun, is going to be part of my giveaway. About a week and a half ago, I got a very exciting email from a hand dye company, and asking if they could telling me they would like to help me get to those magic 100 subscribers. And as part of that, they wanted to send me some yarn to try or give away. Now, first of all, before agreeing, I went over and had a look at the website, their Etsy shop, which, if I remember to do a description box this month, because let's face it, I've been a bit slack recently, I will definitely be linking this Etsy shop below, because oh my goodness, if I had more money in my bank account, I would have bought every single colour that is in their shop. That is how much I love their shop. In fact, before even responding to say, yeah, that sounds great, I went and had a look. While I was having a look, I might have accidentally bought some yarn as well. So it's all arrived in this very lovely package, and I can't wait to show you what I got. So first, let's get everything out so I'm not doing too much rustling. So the person doing the dyeing is Andy. And the company, if I can find his compliment slip, is Attic Spin Dye. He's a part-time dyer. He has a job as well, and he also helps look after his wife, who suffers with a number of conditions. And she I have to confess I haven't had time to read this properly, but she does a lot of fundraising for this charity here. So I'm going to look into this, and maybe we'll try and think of a way that we could raise some money for this charity. And I've got this beautiful card. Be happy. It's so lovely. And this was truly happy mail, because I have had the worst couple of weeks at work. I've been completely snowed under and feeling really, really stressed. So to receive this little package, well, the email on its own cheered me up no end, but the package just, I received it on a day that I had found particularly stressful at work, and it turned my frown upside down, let's say that. So Andy is the brains and brawn of Attic Spin Dye, and his wife Angela, who recently subscribed to my channel, cheers him on from the sidelines. So she finds that knitting and crochet helps with physical and mental therapy. Like I said, one of the things that I find with my knitting and crochet is if I come home after a really bad day at work, I do feel much, much better once I've had, even if it's only 10 minutes of knitting or crochet, I do feel much better. And yes, so she works to raise awareness of, I'm not even going to try and pronounce this, I'm really sorry, is it Ayla's Downloss Support UK? So so I thought, wow, that's such a lovely card. Thank you, Angela and Andy. Or is it Ange and Andy? I see you're Angela on my subscription list anyway. So first of all, let's show the yarn I chose to buy. Now, one thing that did excite me sorry about the crinkling, when I was looking at Andy's shop is he has a range of yarns inspired by the Discworld novels of Terry, written by Terry Pratchett. I am the biggest fan of Terry Pratchett novels. I really, really enjoy them. I've read every single one at least once. I've read Mort 3 times. That's my favourite one. And I just thought, wow, Discworld yarn. I just had to. And what struck, so if you're not familiar with Discworld, because I'm running short on time on my memory stick, basically Discworld is a big flat disc that is set on the backs of 4 elephants that are stood on the back of a great sea turtle called the Great Artuin, who swims through space. Because why not? And there are, I forget how many novels based on this disc that is a world, and every single one of them takes the mickey out of an element of our day-to-day life. So the Hogfather will take the mickey out of Christmas, and things like the Easter Bunny and the Tooth Fairy are all involved in there. But yeah, anyway, like I said, I'm running out of time. I don't want to run out of time and not get my giveaway set up. So first of all, here is the yarn. So there is there's a 50 gram skein, which would be the...
And it's like a description.
So this is the turtle.
But instead of one big turtle with 4 elephants, it's one big piece of yarn.
And then we've got 5 10 gram minis, which did confuse me a little bit because there were 4 elephants. But I don't care, they're beautiful. And this is such lovely yarn. The colours, I just love those pops of green in there.
The big pieces for the elephants and these little pieces are for the elephants, the great old two in.
Maybe. Anyway, I can't wait to find a project for these. I really, really love this yarn. I can't wait to find something to cast it on. And it came with a turtle and an elephant stitch marker. How cute. Oh, let's get this out of the way. How cute are they? That you can't really see them terribly well. Let's try and put them against the card. I'm not doing this too well. I really should not have had that second glass of wine. There you go. How beautiful are they? They're amazing. So Andy said he'd pop some extras in my order. And those extras are going to be part of my Podiversary giveaway. And they are both Discworld themed. So we'll start with this one. This one's my favourite. This one I'm going to buy for myself at payday because just be still my heart with this yarn. And also its theme is probably one of my favourite characters. I have two favourite characters in Discworld novels. One of them is Death. And the other one is Lord Veterinary, and this is the colour. Now you can't, it's really not showing up terribly brilliantly in this lighting, but it's this really...
I remember, Death, when you introduced me to Terry Pratchett.
Yeah.
The Talking Grim Reaper with all the timers.
Yeah, so look at this, look. It's black with this beautiful stream of purple, deep purple and deep blue going through it. Now Lord Veterinary is kind of like a tyrannical dictator who you can't help but love him, basically. I love Lord Veterinary. He is one of my favourite characters, and it came with a stitch marker, so this will be included in the giveaway. And it's a 50-gram skein. It is a fingering weight yarn. It's a superwash merino, 75% and 25% nylon. And I just love that colour. So I will be buying 100 grams of that at the end of the month to make a pair of socks for Simon. And the other yarn that will be part of the giveaway is another yarn. For the life of me, I can't remember this character. I feel terrible that I can't remember this character. So the character is Errol the Dragon. So I'm thinking I should probably get the books off the shelf and start rereading them when I've finished some of my other books that I've got on my shelf. So this is Errol the Dragon. Just look at those greens and purples. Just oh wow. And on the Instagram feed for Attic Spin Dye, for the Discworld yarns that Andy pops up pictures of, he does occasionally pop pictures up that shows the inspiration pictures of the characters as well. And then there's really marvellous, again this will be part of the giveaway, marvellous stitch marker of a dragon. So both beautiful yarns. This won't be all that is part of the giveaway, but thank you Andy so much. So I will have these two yarns as a giveaway. Let me get them out so you can see them again properly. There they are together. These beautiful yarns are going to be part of the giveaway. And all you need to do is 1, subscribe to my channel, because I'm doing these giveaways to reward people who support my channel. 2, you need to leave a comment below. And 3, in that comment, you need to use the word Pratchett. I will include somewhere floating around my head the word, that word, so that you know how it's spelt. I will be using...
It has two T's on the end.
It does, yes. So I will be using a random comment generator to select the winner from that. So if you don't want to be involved in the giveaway, then by all means, just but still want to leave a comment, you can. You just don't have to mention the word Pratchett. So, like I said, subscribe, comment, Pratchett, and these yarns plus some extra. I have knitting lessons booked in tomorrow, so I will be visiting the yarn shop. There may be a few skeins of yarn find their way into my bag before I come home for the giveaway. I will show those when I announce the winner. Now I will leave this open. Well, it's episode 20. This is episode 26. So I will draw the winner in episode 28. So I will be filming episode 28. Let's get the calendar up because I can't remember what date it will be. Today, this is the 6th when I'm filming episode 26. So episode 27 will be filmed on the 20th. So I will be drawing the winner. So the last chance for getting your hands on this beautiful yarn will be the 2nd of September. So the 2nd of September. I am happy to ship worldwide. Just know that if you are likely to incur any customs charges, things like that, that will be down to you if you receive the prize. And who doesn't want this?
Who wouldn't? It's beautiful.
It is beautiful, and this is again, this is the kind of yarn I can't stop stroking. It's absolutely beautiful, and I can't wait to own more of Attic Spin Dye's yarn. So I did have a little bit of more incoming, but I'm running out of space on my memory card, so I'm going to leave it there today. Also, it is getting late and Simon will be complaining because we're running out of time to watch anything with Catherine. So I will see you again in a couple of weeks. I look forward to seeing all of your Pratchett comments, and hopefully we can give this yarn to somebody who will love it as much as I do. So thank you for watching. I've probably gone right off my, well no I haven't, I'm pretty much on my plan. Just I have gone well over my normal time scale as far as the times that I can see, so I'll have to do some chopping. That'll be the wine probably. Next time I film I'm not tipsy, but I've definitely feel like I've had that glass of wine extra than I should have done. And I shall see you again soon. Happy crafting, stay safe, and bye bye.
And make sure you enter.